Hello friends. So today we are going to talk about my drugstore starter kit and what you need from the drugstore to get a full face of gorgeous makeup. I had posted a question on my Instagram at CaitlinJolene_makeup. If you don't follow me there, please do. And in that little post I had said, what do you want me to film? What would you like to see? Because I am currently pre-filming for my vacation next week. By the time you see this, I'm already on vacation, but beside the point. And I just wanted to see what people thought. And I had somebody say, how do I use makeup if I've never been into it? Or what do I use? Or like, how do I get into it? When it comes to application, I do kind of go through that throughout my videos when it comes to using your sponge or, you know, how to apply bronzer, where to apply bronzer, and like those kind of things I do go through during my videos, but I've never actually sat down and talked about a starter kit. So last night I sat down, I went through all the makeup that I have sitting in front of me, and I have a full list for you. So let's get started. My first note that I wrote down, and I think this is the most important thing that anyone who does makeup needs to know, is you need to moisturize your skin. Skincare and skin prep is going to make your skin that much better. Drugstore has a million amazing moisturizers, so don't even for 1 second worry about if you can find a decent one at the drugstore. I use one that I've talked about before. It's Curel. I can put it up on the screen. It's mainly for my eczema, but I always put it on before I ever put makeup on. Very important for me. Next step would be a primer. So I kind of thought of two different categories, and I'm actually going to insert little clips of me applying each of these products while I'm talking about them. Just note my skin's very bad with eczema right now, so if you see any crazy spots or things are looking a little bad, just know my skin's really rough, but the makeup in general still looks pretty good, right? Can't complain. So when I was thinking of primers, I thought of a pore filling primer and then a glowy primer, because depending on your particular needs, those are things that are going to matter to you differently. So if you have larger pores and you want to fill them in, my favorite is the NYX Angel Veil Primer. You just need a small amount, you can rub it into your pores, and it really fills in those areas very well, very nicely. When it comes to a glowy primer, I chose to write down the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. This product is, like it says, a glow enhancing lotion. So it's not moisturizing like your moisturizer is, but it's definitely not a drying formula. So for people with dry skin, it does slightly hydrate, but it also gives you that really nice glow under your foundation, especially if you're dry and your skin just isn't quite bright, it's a little dull. It'll give you that gorgeous look. It also comes in many shades, so if you have different skin tones, feel free to look around, see what you think. L'Oreal Glotion, great product. So then I jumped into foundation. So for me, as a dry skin girl, my favorite, hands down, never fail foundation, L'Oreal Pro Glow. However, L'Oreal also makes a L'Oreal Pro Matte. So if you're oily, that foundation I know is like a cult favorite. But this one for my dry skin girls, even normal skin, if you just like glow, for example, I put the Glotion and this on today, and my skin is very luminous and it's beautiful. It makes me not look nearly as dry as I actually am, and that's definitely something I look for in products. This also doesn't sink into fine lines on my forehead at all, and this is one of the only foundations I found that does that, and it's amazing. Comes in a ton of shades. It's really, really easy to blend out. I prefer a sponge with it personally, but if you use a brush, that's also fine. I'll get into tools a little bit later, but when it comes to foundation, hands down, favorite one. And then the Pro Matte if you're oily. As for concealer, I kind of grabbed two options. So my current favorite is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. The reason I'm obsessed with this is it has wonderful coverage. It's great. I mean, it doesn't crease badly into my lines underneath my eyes. I also apply it to my forehead, and it doesn't crease into my forehead lines either, and I think it's amazing. Very little goes a very long way, but it does dry fast, so you need to work in sections. If you put a dab under this eye, a dab under that eye, blend it out. Don't let it sit for too long. On the other hand, if you want something less full coverage, which that True Blend concealer is, I would go with the Maybelline Fit Me. This concealer is like an everyday natural girl's dream. It's probably about a medium coverage, But my trick for it is if you put the little dabs under your eye and you let it sit for a minute, this won't dry fast, but also the pigment will deposit onto your skin better. And if you let the product sit for a minute, you'll get more coverage under your eye when you blend it out. So typically what I do is I do a little dab under my eye, and then I go chin, nose, forehead, around the nose, and then I blend out chin, nose, forehead, around the nose, and then my eyes, and I get the most coverage that way. Love this product. It's super nice. But for some reason right now, this is just my all-time favorite. But it's very different in coverage and different uses. So depending on what you want, these are my suggestions. Next, I'd go into setting powder. There's different ways to apply setting powder. You can apply it with a damp sponge or with a brush. Either way, whatever works for you is great. But the one powder I suggest is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. Hands down best powder at the drugstore. There is no way to beat it. And I've only ever used one high-end loose setting powder, and this I still think is better. It provides a hair of coverage, so try to get a shade that's similar to your skin tone. I personally use shade 10 Fair Light, but it does give a little bit of extra coverage, and that's nice if you're not, say you're using this concealer, which isn't full coverage 100%, you're gonna get a little additional when you use this. It also sets perfectly. It doesn't make my skin look super dry, which as a dry skin girl, that's everything you want and need. So this product right here, phenomenal. Now, when it comes to bronzer, I think we all know that my favorite is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. However, Physicians Formula isn't the cheapest at the drugstore, and it smells so good, but Physicians Formula for some reason is a little bit more expensive when it comes to drugstore. This is probably closer to $10. And if you're just starting out with makeup, you don't need to spend that. If you want to use this beautiful, perfect, amazing bronzer, then spend it. But I wanted to grab a different alternative that's slightly less expensive. So I grabbed the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. This is in the shade Forever Sunkissed. They don't have a lot of shades of this, just as an FYI. But this is what I put on today for the purpose of this video, and it is phenomenal. It's really nice. The primer infused definitely helps with the longevity. It's great. Also, when it comes to blushes, the e.l.f. Primer Infused blushes are also the best at the drugstore. I do enjoy the Milani Luminoso Baked Blush, which is more of like a glowy blush, but every day I'm using this. It's matte, it's gorgeous, it gives me a nice color to my cheeks, but it's not too shimmery, too bright, and it also stays a really long time, and it's amazing. Personally, one of my faves. This isn't always cheeky, I don't know if I said that. As for highlighters, if you watch my videos, you know I'm not crazy about highlighters, but I did put one on today. You can see it glowing there on my skin. And that is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. Essence is a super inexpensive brand. This highlighter is probably a couple of dollars. It's nuts. Most of their products do cause me some issues on my skin, but this is not one of them. This highlighter is beautiful. It gives you a nice luminous glow. It's just stunning, and if you blend it in well enough and really work it into the skin, you will not see any powder on your skin, and it's gorgeous. But they don't have a lot of shades. This is in the shade 10 Be My Highlight. It's the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I think they have one other shade, but it's not nearly as good. So if you have any deeper than like a medium skin tone, unfortunately I don't know if this is going to be the product for you. And if you do have a medium to deep skin tone, I'd check out ColourPop, because they have a lot of great highlighters as well, since they don't offer that much for a range. Next, I worked into the eyeshadow category, and I personally think, I actually didn't pull them out, so let me get them out of my drawer. I personally think that the ColourPop eyeshadows, hands down the best eyeshadows you're gonna get for an inexpensive price. I think their palettes are like maybe $12, and I think that's not even accurate, but they're just gorgeous. I have 3 here. I don't think, they only sell this one still, I believe, but these 3 are the ones that I happen to have. But they're gorgeous colors. They blend beautifully. Their shimmers are great. They're just inexpensive, but also amazing quality, and you can't go wrong. Oh, I also have ColourPop single shadows, and those are also really good. But if you're going for bang for your buck, I'd find a really nice eyeshadow palette with a lot of nudes. This one is a little brighter, so it's not quite what you're looking for, but see like all these nude shades over here? A lot of nudes. Natural tones, preferably more mattes than shimmers, because mattes are what you're going to use more often. but they're more bang for your buck when you get a palette. If you buy a single shadow, you're gonna pay probably $5 for one shade, but if you buy, what is this, a 12 color palette for $12, it's $1 a shade. So that is a huge suggestion for me. However, I've heard a lot of people talk about this particular brand. It's called Profusion. They sell it at Walmart, and I believe they sell it at Target, but I don't think I've ever really seen it there as much. They had a ton of options at Walmart, and these palettes are so inexpensive. This is a 10 color palette, and I paid $4.98. That's under $5 for 10 shades. So this is the Mobs palette. This is like a natural palette. They also do have an actual natural palette, but I have a ton of those, so I didn't think I needed it. And I'm gonna swatch a few shades just for us on here while we're talking about it. So this is what the palette looks like. I'm gonna try to swatch a few of these right now. Ooh, promising. So here are 4 of the mattes. This color didn't give a whole lot of payoff, but this is like a bone shade that you can't really see. And then these 2 shades are really nice. And then let me swatch some shimmers. So far they look pretty good. For a $5 eyeshadow palette and starting out, I feel like these would be great. Let me try this shimmer. Ooh, that feels good. That feels really good. You guys, this Ooh La La shade with like a weird little center is interesting. Wow. Okay. If you're looking for shimmers, so I swatched every shade but this one and this one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes. This one is probably going to be like a satin finish. It does have a little bit of glitter in there, which typically doesn't pay off on your eye as well, but just in case, I wouldn't consider this 100% matte. So you have 5 mattes to make a full eye look, an everyday look, a more smoky look, and then you have 4 shimmer shades, which are all stunning, and it's $4.98. So this is the Mobs palette. If you need anything else, go to Walmart, check out Profusion's eyeshadow palettes. I think it could be a really good option for inexpensive shades, and they're easier to find than ColourPop where you have to order online. But either way, ColourPop's shadows are out of this world. Moving on to my next category, I have eyeliners. So I actually didn't pull this one out either, but my favorite eyeliners, liquid eyeliners, are the NYX Cosmetics Epic Ink Liners. I have brown and black, and I think they are both amazing. The only problem I've had with the black so far is it runs a lot. So if you've ever seen me use it in a video, I typically take the tip of it and wipe it on a washcloth just so I get all the color off of it, because it will bleed on your eye if you have too much actual eyeliner coming out. So it does bleed a little bit, and that's something that you kind of just have to work with. But when it comes to payoff, longevity, these are the place to go. I mean, NYX Epic Ink eyeliners are amazing, personally. I can't say anything else about them other than they're great. When it comes to pencil, I don't have like a favorite from the drugstore right now, but my only suggestion is to not get a wood pencil, a sharpened pencil. I currently am using the L'Oreal Matte gel mechanical eyeliner. So it's just a mechanical liner. It's in black. I've also used the Maybelline super skinny, or like the little pink one that's super thin. I have this LA Girl one right here that's supposedly decent. This is a sharpened one, but it's not wood. And then I also have tried the Milani on a client. I haven't personally kept it myself. It's like a Milani eyeliner. I think that one is wood, or it's like that one where you sharpen it. But what I found is wood eyeliners tend to be very dry. They're hard to put on your eyes. They just tug a lot, and they actually don't pay off that well. My battery just died, so I'm sorry if the angle's a little different, if we're a little zoomed in, if we're a little zoomed out. I don't know. I did my best, but we're back. So I was talking about eyeliners. I personally just think that wood eyeliners are just too dry and too harsh, and I would prefer a retractable if I were you. The drugstore has a million options. I personally use this one. When it comes to colorful eyeliners or a nude, for example, this is the Honey Dude eyeliner from ColourPop. It is a nude eyeliner, and that is what I have on my waterline right now. And they also have a million colors. So if you want a colorful eyeliner or just to dive kind of into that realm of color in a super easy way, adding a little pop of color on your waterline is like the easiest way to add color to any look. And ColourPop has every color under the rainbow and then some. So if you want a colorful liner or a nude liner, ColourPop all the way. I think they're $5 too, so super inexpensive. As far as mascara goes, I think everybody knows what I'm looking for, and that is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. Best mascara at the drugstore, hands down. Don't even try anything else. This is the one you want. It is a pink tube. It's called Black is Black. Just trust me, you need it. And if you get anything else, you're dumb. Just kidding, I love you, but it's stupid good. Now for lips. So when it comes to lip liners, I don't 100% have perfect favorites from the drugstore. Once again, just like retractable liners, I'd say retractable lip liners are your way to go. They're gonna be a little bit creamier. The wood pencils tend to once again be drier and like really tug on your lips, and they're not my favorite. The only sharpenable lip liner that I do really like is the ColourPop lip liners, but they do dry out a little bit and your actual liner will like pop out of the casing, which is strange. And if you've ever seen me kind of mess with one in a video, you know what I'm talking about. But I also like Wet n Wild lip liners, which are super inexpensive. Wet n Wild's a wicked inexpensive brand at the drugstore. I also like Maybelline retractable lip liners, and then the ColourPops. Those are just some suggestions. But when it comes to lipsticks and liquid lipsticks and those kind of things from the drugstore, ColourPop's lip products are also amazing. So if you're on the ColourPop website and you want lip products, definitely try theirs. They have good lipsticks, they have good liquid lipsticks, they have good glosses, they have good lip liners. Lip products at ColourPop are great. However, when you're standing inside Target, Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, any of those places, the one brand you should be looking at for lip products. Ready for this? Maybelline. Okay? Okay. They have crayons, they have liquid lipsticks, they have bullet lipsticks. Their lipsticks are the favorites. Never even been challenged by anybody else at the drugstore. They have these awesome, which this color is the one I'm wearing today on my lips. These are Super Stay Ink crayons. You can just draw right on your lip super easily. They have a little pointed tip, so you get really detailed, and also a sharpener at the bottom if you want to make a pointed tip and not use a lip liner. They also stay pretty well. They're very comfortable, and I could wear them all day at work and not care. I would obviously have to touch up a little bit after lunch, but they don't hurt or like feel dry and like suck the life out of your lips. They have a million colors, and I love them all. And then they have these Super Stay Matte Ink liquid lipsticks. These are never coming off your lips, okay? If you want to wear something all day at work and not even have to think about the fact that they might be coming off, Maybelline Super Stay Matte Inks. They don't leave. I will scrub my lips with a makeup remover wipe and nothing will happen. I will scrub my lips with makeup remover and nothing will happen. The only thing that works is multiple layers of Vaseline, which, FYI, if you're a liquid lipstick lover, Vaseline, easiest thing to take liquid lipsticks off. You just dip your finger in it, you rub it around, comes right off. You have to do that about 3 times with these. It's amazing. So if you want a product that you don't even have to think about when you're at work, try these. They are hair sticky when you first put them on, so you just kind of have to like let them fully dry before you go nuts with them, but amazing liquid lipsticks. And then when it comes to bullet lipsticks, Maybelline also takes the cake. I have multiple colors here. I've had a million, but I've had to kind of throw them away as they've, gotten old and a little gross, but they have multiple formulas. They have matte, they have cream, they have satin, they have shine. Like this is, I believe, a shine. Yep, a shine formula. It's Baddest Beige. It's a lipstick that Jaclyn Hill uses all the time, if you ever watch her. I also have this in Truffle Tease, is like my wedding bride lipstick dream. This is like the perfect color for any bride ever. This is Mauve for Me. It's one of their like universal shades. It is also a gorgeous, kind of looks similar to the tone I have on, but a gorgeous lipstick. And then I have a couple other like pinky shades. This is Warm Me Up and Flush Punch. So this is Flush Punch. And this is Warm Me Up. So if you're looking for a bullet lipstick at the drugstore, these are awesome. Longevity, not as good as say the crayons or the liquid lipsticks, but they're a little bit more comfortable, and they also have multiple finishes. Whereas the Superstay Inks matte ink lipsticks and the liquid lipsticks and the Superstay matte ink crayons are matte. There is no gloss, there's no shine, nothing. So if you want like a satin look or a shiny glossy look, I would look at the Maybelline bullet lipsticks. All right, so my last and final tip for you is makeup sponges and makeup brushes. As a person who has dry skin, I will only apply my foundation and concealer with a sponge. No question about it. Never going to put a brush to my face with foundation. It's just gonna move all of my little eczema patches around. Dry skin's gonna be flaking all over the place. Not something I'm looking for. If you're more of an oily person or you like more full coverage, I would use a brush because brushes will keep your coverage 100% and a sponge will absorb some of your product. But personally, sponges is the only way to apply your makeup. The two brands of sponges at the drugstore I love are Real Techniques, which is this little orange guy right here, and Eco Tools. These are a newfound love. This is my love for like 5 years now. I've always loved the Real Techniques sponges, but lately I've been playing with the Eco Tools ones and they are amazing. I have 2 sizes for like cream products, my cream, bronzer, and blush, and then for foundation and powder and concealer. I use them today, as you saw in those clips, so they're a little dirty. When it comes to brushes though, the 2 brands that I would suggest at the drugstore that are inexpensive and are also gonna give you amazing products are Real Techniques, which I have right here. These are Real Techniques brushes. They're amazing. This is a contour brush that I use often when I'm contouring my face. This is considered a blush brush, but I would use it more for like face powder. I did use it for blush the other day and it worked great, but I'm more of an angled brush kind of person. But then this big giant fluffy brush is also considered a powder brush, but this is a bronzer dream. So Real Techniques has amazing brushes, and they also have great eye brush sets if you need eye brushes. But the other place I would look to for brushes that has very inexpensive products but great products is Elf. So these are the ElfxJkissa brushes. This came in a collection. Amazing. I have a few other Elf brushes, but these ones are definitely my favorite so far. But I do know that Elf carries some great products. So Elf eye brushes are amazing. And then they also have a line of brushes that have a clear handle like this, and that whole line is beautiful. This brush is one of the softest brushes I've ever used in my entire life. And every brush in this line is A++. I think they're like $6 a piece. Brushes aren't the most inexpensive thing, but they are amazing. And if you want to make a great eye look or a beautiful blended face, you're gonna need quality brushes. Like, unfortunately, you just have to kind of spend the money. Your application is gonna depend on your actual application tool. The products can be amazing and you use a bad tool and your products won't look good. Also, you can take a not so great product and use an amazing tool and your application will look great. So just tools are so important when you're doing your makeup. Just an FYI. But that is my whole drugstore starter kit. I just talked for 40 minutes straight. My voice is shot. It is 10 o'clock in the evening and I'm going to go to sleep. So if you liked this video, if you like the makeup on my face today, if you think I should do more starter kit videos or tips and tricks and I don't know, my favorite products, let me know in the comments. Like this video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see me more often. I'm not that bad, I must say so myself. Follow me on Instagram at CaitlinJolene_makeup and see you all next time. I love you so much.